Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
I was just looking into buying a boat of my own.
Call World of Boating toll-free now at 1-8888-28-BOAT. That's 1-888-828-BOAT.
And welcome. This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick, Barry, the boater, and Mike the mariner, rounding out the crew as we navigate the latest boating news and information. All right, so we're going to lose a member, or at least make him walk the plank after the first block here, because he's on the road to pick up his new vessel. That would be Mike the mariner. Mike, how are you, buddy? Are you happy? Come on.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes. I think, this is probably the happiest day, or one of the happiest days in your life. You're going to pick up your vessel, right?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's one of them. And of course, when you get your new boat, that's one. And when you sell it is another.
And then
So,
when you-
right.
Right.
Now, if Mike is smart, the happiest day is when he walked down the aisle.
Okay. Yeah, he is driving with his better half, or I don't know, the person who calls all the shots. So Barry's trying to score some points for you for Valentine's Day weekend. So they worked out some deal before the show to make that happen.
Yeah.
So hopefully it works. We'll see. But are you happy? I mean, obviously you're happy with the person you're traveling with, but are you happy about the boat? Let's focus on that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we found a great boat.
So what is it? Tell us.
It's a 39. It's a Silverton 39, and it was on the market for about 2 hours when we found it. And everybody's been talking about how hard it is to find boats these days, and that when they go for sale, if it's a good boat, it gets snapped up pretty quickly. And that's what I was experiencing. But just out of luck, I happened to be on one of the boat sites, and I didn't see it, at like 2:00 in the afternoon, but around 4:00 in the afternoon, I looked again, and there it was. So
wow,
I jumped on it, and it turned out to be a good buy.
So you're going
on our
to
way
actually,
up
yeah. What are you doing? You're going to pick it up, and where is it exactly?
It's in Brunswick, Georgia. We're on our way to just provision it this weekend. We're going to actually move it back to Florida next week.
Okay, nice. Have Barry, Patrick, have you guys looked at this vessel? Do you give it your thumbs up or what, Patrick? What do you think?
I know nothing about it. Mike and I have known each other for about, I want to say 32 years. He has failed to reach out to me. And
so you feel offended?
Bring me into this conversation whatsoever. Wow. I mean, I'm a licensed captain. I'm NMMA Master Compliance certified.
Well, okay, forget all that.
Wait. I've been through all the service schools, and I mean, I've been working in manufacturing since I was 18. And the guy said absolutely nothing other than, "Don't text me anymore, moron."
I think I've only known you 32 weeks.
Which is 32 weeks too many, but regardless.
Which seems about like 32 years.
Yeah. But what about the reality is, though, are you familiar with the boat he bought? That's where, you can still comment about that, can't you, Patrick?
Sure.
Okay.
Mike, is it pointing in the front?
It is pointing in the front. And
is it kind
in the rear?
It's kind of squared off in the stern?
This is why
A
Patrick.
little squared off. Yes.
Okay.
And,
does it have one of those round things
Mike
that maneuvers
Patrick
the boat
are so
from
close.
to port to starboard?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, I'm familiar with this boat, Greg. What does it got for power? What are you running for power? Engines and generator.
Oh, jeez. Come on, Patrick. Help us out here, will you? Help him out. Make him feel good or bad about his purchase.
I'm asking him about his power plants in the boat.
Yeah, they're Cummins 5.9.
Nice.
6 PPAs.
Yeah.
And then it's got a Kohler diesel generator.
It sounds like top of the line stuff.
Well, diesel all the way, going to have much less problems, especially when it comes to the generator. And those Cummins engines, we were installing Cummins for quite a while, then moved to the Volvo Penta D6s, and then came back to the Cummins with the Zeus Pod drives, the last generation of our 53 that we built. Is this V drive or pods?
No, straight shaft imports.
Okay.
Does it have AC?
Oh,
Better.
yeah.
Of course it is.
Okay.
It has to
I think the person he's driving with right now would raise Cain
Require that.
if that wasn't the case. How
And
much
it-
of a fixer-upper would you consider this to be? Not much, or what do you think there?
No, not much at all.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm having a little bit of work done to it to make it ready. It's not quite ready for the oil changes yet, but I'm going to go ahead and have that done. It's got an automatic oil changing system on it. Got to upload new charts to the. It's a brand new navigation system, but it doesn't have the charts in it. So having that done, radar.
What is it running for electronics, Mike?
Raymarine.
Oh, that sounds good.
The
all
new touchscreen Raymarine
Okay.
with the Doppler radar.
Sweet.
All right. So no buttons down the right side of the screen and along the bottom.
No.
Okay.
No, it's all
Why, are you not a fan of the buttons there, Patrick? Why?
Nobody was a fan of the Raymarine displays with the buttons down the right side and along the bottom. They found them confusing, and when Garmin came heavy into the market with their touch screen, no buttons, all on-screen icons, Raymarine was caught a little short.
Okay. But the newer version that Mike has, you're a fan of, or you think it's acceptable?
Anything that's touch screen is much, much easier for the casual mariner to use.
Got it. Well, let's talk about the important stuff,
Yeah.
like how much space is
what
available
I
on this
had,
vessel.
on the previous-
I want to know, like, how big the guest room is on your vessel. And
Yeah, the
bedding.
foredeck is about 12 feet by 10 feet.
You don't
and
even
that's
know
where
what
your-
the boat is.
That's
Quiet,
where
you.
that's where your tent will be.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Mike, what do you think? Is the guest accommodations on your new vessel adequate for yours truly? Uh-oh, I think he froze conveniently
just
at
in
this
time.
point.
He just saw the price of the boat.
Oh, boy.
I didn't realize there was another comma in there.
Yeah. Well, that happens. Okay. It's either he froze or he's had an accident on his way to the pickup point.
You are a ray of sunshine today.
I'm just saying.
Isn't he?
Hopefully it's not that. We just lost him. Yeah. Oh well. What are you gonna do? That was very convenient though. When it was almost like, can't hear you, Greg. That old trick. All right. Well, he's learned from us. So what do you expect? Not much better. But congratulations to Mike the Mariner. That is awesome that he got his new boat and he's good to go. And I know he's a happy camper right now while they're a boater.
You know, the thing to take from that, especially to any of our listeners that are looking to be in the market to buy a boat,
Yeah.
I'd say in the next 12 to 24 months,
Be quick.
what Mike described is what you can expect. And I personally, this is my own observation, if you will, that there's going to be a large number of pre-owned boats coming into the market in the next 12 to 24 months.
Well, we will see. But it's
No,
interesting.
there will be.
The parallels between the real estate market and the boat selling market right now seem to be very much the same. The way he describes it, a lot of people are having trouble finding, a pre-owned home, and and as soon as they find one, they got to jump on it. They got to pay retail or what the people are asking, or even a little bit more sometimes to get the home. I'm wondering if it's just an economic situation, or what do you think, Patrick?
No, they're seeing the same thing in the RV market. Sales are at an all-time high, and go try to find a camping spot at any campground. Good luck.
Yeah.
Because they are pretty much full up. You're weeks out, if that, from trying to get any type of a reservation. Extremely difficult, especially down in the warm weather states, to find a spot.
There's Barry's backyard. He's willing to rent out a space, I'm sure. Right, Barry?
Yeah, sure. You could rent out and camp there in a pup tent.
Yeah.
But I don't think the home sale is in Florida. It may be higher, but I think in other states it's actually dropping. People
Wrong.
in other
Depends on
states-
the area, but I can tell
Yeah.
you firsthand. I've talked to many people that have been looking for homes, and it's tough in a
Well,
lot of
they're
markets
moving
right
out
now.
of cities or something.
Barry, that's
Yes.
Greg's code for he talked to many people
Yeah.
is he heard it on the internet.
No,
Right.
it was and all of them were out of Florida. Is my point too. So
Well, Florida's
it's
become
going
a big
across the
thing.
country.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it is in Florida. We got all the weather right now and stuff too, but even up north and stuff, the real estate market in a lot of cities is doing quite well. So, yeah, I mean, the big cities like, New York or LA or something, it's probably a little different, but, generally across the country, finding a used home is pretty difficult right now, and people are getting premium dollar for their homes. And I guess it's similar to the boats. So you got to move quick. That's the point I'm getting across. And I think I got it across, at least for me. That'll have to do for now. More coming up on the World of Boating.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why we've added Nanook protective hard cases to our list of products you can now purchase on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. Underwater photographers, listen up. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook protective cases cost less than similar products currently on the market. The company has been around for over 15 years, but it's new to the U.S., so we've made a small number of Nanook cases available exclusively for you at a special introductory price on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Go there now and check out Nanook, the evolution of protection.
Be an explorer in the other 2/3 of your world. Be the buddy who takes the kids in the aquarium instead of just to it. Be adventurous. Be amazed. Be a diver.
Even Keatley wasn't ready for me, or anything that followed. Chased by a police department, led by his ex-girlfriend, and hunted by brain fork-wielding Fijian assassins, it's everything he can do to keep from getting locked up, killed, or worse. Kava Screw is available as an ebook for $2.99 at Amazon.com. Kava Screw. Put a brain fork in him. He's done.
have successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the world of boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
I want sun, I want sand, I want spa. Okay. Spa, facial, but nothing too remote because I'm a people person. I like to socialize.
Islands are good?
Islands are great.
All right, I'm thinking.
I love the Bahamas. Yeah. I've never been there. I've always wanted to go.
We can get you to the Pink Sands Beach.
Ooh.
We can fly you direct into Nassau.
Boating Greg, your first mate. That is me, Captain Patrick. Barry the boater, rounding out the crew as we navigate the latest boating news and information. By the way, there's a potential loophole going on right now for the Bahamas. I found this out this week, and I'm still trying to dig more into it, but they started their ferry service back from Florida to the Bahamas, and one of the loopholes, evidently, with the new U.S. COVID rules to get back into the U.S. when you travel abroad to the Bahamas, is that if you're traveling by boat, you don't have to have a COVID test to get back in the country. I don't know how long that loophole will last, but evidently people are taking advantage of the fast ferry service right now. So we'll see how that goes. Because if you get on an airplane, it's a new mandate that you have to get a COVID test. But if you go to the Bahamas and you go back and forth on the ferry, you don't.
What about a private boat?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm still trying to dig a little bit more into it to find out.
That is so odd.
It is strange because the new federal mandate applies to airline, travel. So, I wouldn't test this loophole, but that is what I've been told this week. And they just started the fast ferry service, I think, this past Thursday, going back from the U.S. and back and forth from the Bahamas. And the kicker is to go to the Bahamas, you do have to get a COVID test, but coming back from another country into the U.S., that's the new rule that was mandated a couple of weeks ago for traveling back to the U.S. and kind of created a lot of havoc for people traveling abroad that were starting to get used to the new rules. But, hey, this could be a new option. And, hey, if you want to zip back and forth from the Bahamas on the fast ferry from Fort Lauderdale or Miami, which is where they go to, like, Freeport, Bimini, and maybe even Nassau, I'm not sure.
Boring.
Yeah, you could do it. And,
boring.
What do you mean boring? What's wrong with that? You don't want to go to the
Who
Bahamas?
wants to go on a boat and not be able to drive the boat, especially in the light of real useful news that broke this week and set the industry abuzz. And it was so earth-shattering that we actually have in a back and forth with one of our listeners on the Facebook page for World of Boating, which, if you haven't checked out World of Boating on Facebook, the radio show, because there's something else out there that's called The World of Boating. We're not that. You're looking for World of Boating, the radio show. Check us out, like us, and follow along because stuff that's posted during the week, we are definitely maybe going to talk about if Greg lets me.
Well, tell me. What was so exciting?
All right. Greg, you know where Lake X is, right?
Lake X. Yeah, that's every lake that I know where I don't know the name of is Lake X, yes.
Lake X is where Mercury, it used to be what was known as their secret test facility out off Old Melbourne Highway, out here in Central Florida. I had the privilege of going out there quite a few times back in the day before they sold it, and now they've leased it again. And this past week, are you ready for this, Barry?
Yeah, I'm finding about the ancient aliens at Lake X.
Nope. Mercury debuted their Verado 600 horsepower, 7.6 liter V12 engine.
Oh my God!
No, Barry, it gets better. It gets better. Are you ready for this?
Yeah,
when you see this thing, and here's the thing, I really enjoyed the interview last week with Jens Bering from Volvo Penta, and we did not get into why they dropped 7 Marine.
Okay.
Because
somebody was too busy auditioning for a job.
Hey, I'm trying to line them up as a sponsor, bud.
I know, but
you're welcome. By the way,
it was funny. It was so funny because Patrick, you talked to him and you yelled at me You remember this? Let's go back to that because we got to bring this up. You yelled at me and said, "All right, Greg, be quiet now. Let the big boys talk." And then you sat there and
said big boys.
You spoke for like 5 minutes, and then he came on and he goes, "Well, I really don't have anything to say. That was awesome."
No, he didn't say he didn't have anything to say. He said, you seem like you really know your history.
Yes. Right. Well, okay.
Which I do.
Well, it was fine.
Okay.
It was
so
fine,
anyway,
but...
the V12 Verado.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Barry. It is a duo prop or twin prop. They can't say duo prop, so it is a twin prop.
Why can't they say duo prop?
Because that's Volvo Penta. And
okay.
Volvo Penta invented the duo prop, and then when Merc came out with their Bravo 3 outdrive, they had to call it a twin prop. And here is, other than this monster weighs in at 1,260 pounds, it has an automatic 2-speed transmission, and it has a steerable gear case. You know what that means, Barry?
Yeah, it means the engine can stay straight, and the gear case will turn on its own, which is
right. So from where you would consider the transition from that power head down stays in a fixed position on the transom. It does not move, will not move. The lower unit swivels.
It should be lighter to turn then.
Well, there's that. Well, let's get into the 2-speed transmission. The gear has a 20% reduction ratio, which leverages the engine's torque to get the big boats out of the hole and on plane quickly. The outboard then shifts into second gear, reducing the RPM for better fuel efficiency.
Automatically?
Yes.
Oh, that is cool.
That is nice. Okay.
So this is a narrow V design that's constructed on a 64-degree block. It's basically 4 additional cylinders on top of the V8. Match that with the steerable gear case, and the 600s can be mounted extremely close together. Minimum spacing is 27 inches from the center of one engine to the center of the next.
When I was in high school, I was in marine mechanics, and my teacher gave me the honor of rebuilding his 6-cylinder Mercury engine outboard, and I thought that was big. So imagine, this thing's huge.
Yeah, well, it's like one of the 7 marine monsters, Yeah. I mean, so here's the really cool. It's the cowling has got access through the top, so you open it up, and that gives you access. All the your serviceable dipsticks and that are all color coded. There is no, so you have to understand now that upper power head there is in a fixed position. There's no mounted steering, so
it's super smooth.
Well, that, and, again, going electric fly-by-wire. A typical outboard swings 30 degrees one direction to the other. The steering on the V12 can pivot up to 45 degrees.
So it can help dock.
There you go.
When
That's
you go
good.
to joystick.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Traffic sucks, unless you're scuba diving with Mike Scott.
Mike glanced down at his dive computer. It showed less than 50 PSI left in his tank. Probably just a few more breaths.
Or riding shotgun in a thrilling car chase.
One bullet hit the Jeep's windshield, spiderwebbing the passenger side. Mike shifted into second gear and felt the Jeep leap forward. This just got serious.
Escape your commute with audiobooks from author Eric Douglas. Download to your phone. Go to booksbyeric.com or audible.com.
Be an explorer in the other 2/3 of your world. Be the buddy who takes the kids in the aquarium instead of just to it. Be adventurous. Be amazed. Be a diver.
Imagine traveling twice as fast as you can drive. Imagine taking friends and family snorkeling, surfing, skiing, shopping, and more to exotic destinations. Imagine attending business meetings in cities far away and still making it home at night. Or just imagine exploring the wild blue yonder.
Quit dreaming about it and get to it. There has never been a better time to become a private pilot, and flight training professionals in Orlando will show you how.
Flight Training Professionals in Orlando is your full-service flight school. A state-of-the-art flight simulator, a fleet of the latest Cessna aircraft, and a staff of full-time seasoned flight instructors are just a few of the many reasons Flight Training Professionals in Orlando is the place to start your aviation adventure. Call 407-896-0077. That's 407-896-0077. Or go to ftpros.com. That's ftpros.com.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick Barry, the boater, navigating the latest boating news and information. All right, so Barry and Patrick just threw out a lot of numbers there at the end of that last block. And, I think they're just trying to make themselves sound smart.
Well, now it's your turn, Greg.
5, 22, 37, and 528.
All right, so when these stories posted, and again, on World of Boating Facebook page, check us out. Of course, worldofboating.com. The stories will post there too. There's the press release, and then there's video from some of the test sessions out at Lake X. Mm-hmm. In conversation with top World of Boating fan, one of the top fans of World of Boating, Patrick Watson, no relation to me.
Lucky him.
So he said, not a boat owner, so I'm going to ask, what is 600 horsepower in a boat like that compatible to in a car? Now, somebody from the show, could be me, possibly, since I am the director of media.
Yeah. Listener X.
Yeah, it depends on the boat, weight, length, beam, chine beam, hull design, planing or stepped. Also depends on the driver and the conditions. It would estimate a single engine on a 28-foot boat with a 9-foot beam, planing hull, calm water, 60, 80 miles an hour, to which Patrick responded, can someone other than Captain Patrick answer, please? So, Greg, seeing as how you have the truck of all trucks, the Honda Ridgeline.
Right.
I was wondering if you could expound. I was wondering if you could expound upon or give an example of how a single-engine, 600 horsepower Verado, how that would translate. What would an example on the automotive end be?
Well, how big is the boat?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Well, yeah, it would matter.
Talking strictly horsepower.
Just Oh, okay. 600 Verado. 600 horsepower Verado would be comparable to, I'm going to say, it's not like sports car stuff.
Oh,
but
my
it's
God, man. Just answer, pick a car.
No, well, I mean, it's like a powerful truck. Like
okay.
Yeah.
You're getting closer. Closer.
A powerful truck.
So like
kind of like
Raptor.
my Honda Ridgeline. No, that's more on the economical side. It's more like a, not a monster truck, but maybe like a Silverado or something like that. An 8-cylinder monster. How about that? I'm right.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Who are you?
We're from the State Mental Institution. We chartered the boat. We're going to go fishing, and that's all there is to it. But I won't cry myself asleep, 'cause my soul no longer weeps, but my body lies in the heart of the sea.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick Barry, the boater. All right, so I'm going to say a 600 horsepower Verado outboard engine would be comparable to having like a 4-wheel drive Silverado or like a GMC Sierra in the truck world. A powerful truck with a lot of torque and stuff.
Call it like the Ford Raptor Roush edition.
Okay, that's same category.
And the thing is, because the thing that you have to remember with a boat, when you're talking about torque, power to weight ratio, everything like that, when it comes to automotive versus marine applications, once you get your car moving and it's rolling, you don't have the resistance, obviously, that you do with a boat in the water, which is why getting the boat up on plane, trimming the boat correctly to get more hull out of the water so you have less friction there, less resistance. The faster you go, the more fuel efficient you are, the better your performance. So your drag, I guess, is going to be more certainly on the water. Again, resistance with the water against the hull. And you've got your conditions there as well. Whether you have a light chop, some heavy swell, wind on port beam, starboard beam, dead ahead. Certainly if it's at aft of you pushing you forward, it's to your benefit. But
it's like the torque stuff that the guy from Volvo Pinto was talking about last week. How that's more important, especially when you get into that size of engine,
yes,
right?
Because you're into a 4-stroke engine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess there's that too.
A 2-stroke engine made its horsepower at higher RPMs, so they've had to adapt to that. You still have to get the boat up on plane. The longer it takes, the more you're wasting fuel.
Okay, so here we go. Also on the worldofboating.com and World of Boating Facebook page is one of the first test reports. This is from Tierra Yachts with their 48 LS running their triple Merc Verado V12s. Okay, weight as tested, just under 34,000 pounds.
34,000 pounds? No.
But that's the boat and the engine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Honestly, Barry, I just don't know what to do with them sometimes.
Okay,
so fuel capacity, just under 700 gallons. Everything was topped off. Fuel, water, people on board was 3. Gear on board was 750 pounds. And their acceleration, 0 to 30, was just under 10 seconds.
So how long will it take them to get from Florida to New York down to the minute? Go.
Well, we're gonna get to that here in just a second.
This is a math edition of the World of Boating today?
Which
Seriously?
I'm really
calculator out.
I'm really sad that Bill isn't here because he can convert this into metric for us.
What are you talking about? Who cares about that? We got Barry. He's an accountant. So break out your abacus. Let's
I
go.
only work with dollars.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, funny you should say that, Barry, because top end turning just under 6,400 RPM, speed at just under 58 miles an hour, gallons per hour. Any guesses on triple Merc V12s running 58 miles an hour at 6,400 RPM?
Wait.
What is this thing sipping?
Mercs. I'm going to say, 10 gallons per engine, so 30 gallons per hour.
There's a reason why you're the host and not really providing any technical analysis.
What? I'm just
I
throwing a
would
number
say
out
it'd have
there.
to be more than that. If 700-gallon fuel tank, that's going to take it 1,000-mile range? No, because this is going slow. I figure about 50, 60 gallons per hour.
All right, so you says double.
167.2.
Ouch.
Man,
that's a lot of fuel.
Yeah.
That's way past most
still,
aircraft, actually.
The question becomes, I have a whole different question. It just has to do with, when a boat designer, when an engine designer comes along with this engine, do they talk to some of the manufacturers and start, doing a little bit of talking back and forth to design the boats for these engines? Because 1,200 pounds is a lot of weight.
Yeah, I think it's just, it's like muscle cars. The more power, the better.
No, it's not that. But the muscle car, they have the engine manufacturer. It's all in one. You have boat manufacturers, then you have engine manufacturers.
Right.
Well, yeah, Greg actually does bring up a point with the car angle, in that if you remember back in the heavy muscle car era, myself having a 71 Mustang and then a 73 Mach 1, those cars, you could wind up twisting the frames on those. So
there is a situation where you've overpowered your boat big time.
Well, there is, but that's where the boats that were tested were designed initially to handle. They're always going to be designed to handle excess of what they're actually going to run. You're never going to have a boat manufacturer that's hopefully that's designing it right on the borderline to, okay, this thing can handle, 3 V12s. That's it.
Right.
They're going to overbuild.
Okay, but
transom.
Well, let me ask you this then, Patrick. So let's say, it is always about having more. And even though the boat, like you said, would be, this is the motor we suggest for it. But if you go higher and you go with the idea that you're not going to run this thing, at full tilt anyway, but just having that extra juice, with the exception of the weight issue, which is really the issue when you get into the bigger horsepower engines, that's the problem. It's not necessarily horsepower, is it? If you kept it in check as far as not going nuts trying to be a speed demon?
Horsepower relates to torque. So depending on how the boat manufacturer, how they've designed their transom, and you'll have a lot of manufacturers that are going to design a negative degree transom. So in other words, that the engine, when it sits fully trimmed down, actually sits at a negative angle so that when you initially power up, what does it do, Barry?
It's lift. Well, then it would be.
That's right.
You're may lift up too quick or too much.
Wouldn't it? That's what I'm looking at the transom. Wouldn't it want to rip off the top of the transom?
No, because the bracketing is sufficient.
Okay, it's pushing against the whole transom.
Correct.
Right. All right.
So a negative degree transom is going to help get the boat up out of the water quicker. You can't go too far with a negative degree transom because then you're going to shoot the bow up straight up in the air.
Which would look awesome, but not ideal.
Well, you would have to tilt
passengers.
the engine further out in order to compensate for that, too. That can't be good for it.
Well, when it's tucked all the way in, again, what they always look at, just like with car manufacturers, acceleration 0 to 60. With boat manufacturers, it's plane time. How quickly can this boat get up on plane? Because once we're on plane and we're clear of the water and we're trimmed up, now most people are backing off onto throttles. They're going to find that optimum cruise range where everybody's comfortable, nobody's getting knocked around, and they're at their most fuel efficient for their load and their conditions. And that's what you want. You want the boat to be able to get up on top. And nobody wants a boat that's going to struggle to get up out of the hole.
Right. So the key is to find the engine that's going to get you that torque and get you up out of the water as efficiently as possible, but not push it too far, and then back off to whatever you want to do. And it's all about taking all those parameters into.
Well, yeah, it's the balance of the boat, the weight of the boat, the balance of how much fuel you want to burn, the distance you want to be able.
Well,
to
you're looking at beam, you're looking at chine beam, you're looking at your space available under the deck, total length, what kind of hull, again, semi-planing, planing, stepped hull, and degree of so your dead rise, it comes into play, is a huge factor.
So really what you should do is just do what the manufacturer suggests for that particular vessel, and then either lie about how much horsepower you have or get really big, like engine shelves on those outboards to make them look massive.
Well,
because it's how you look good, not necessarily how you are good.
All right, going a little deeper on these V12s. Mercruiser says it won't need its first routine maintenance until 200 hours of runtime. That's crazy. Nice. To conduct maintenance, just open the hood. Again, those outboard decowlings have an actual hood. With a push of a button, the top of the cowling raises on a gas strut and reveals neatly arranged color-coded fluid fills and dipsticks. You can drain and fill the gear lube and transmission fluid from on top of the engine without hauling the boat.
So
huge,
huge
right there.
Where's the transmission then? It's not in the lower unit. It's between the powerhead and the lower unit?
The transmission is in the lower part. It's below the powerhead, so it's in the fixed portion of the outboard.
There you go. All right, I think Barry's a fan. More coming up on the World of Boating.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Do you have a message or product you need to share with the boating world? Well, look no further than the World of Boating radio show. Just like you, thousands of boating enthusiasts are hearing this message, and we could be talking about you and your product or service as early as next Saturday. Remember, a terrible thing happens when you don't advertise. Nothing. Go
go to worldofboating.com, send us an email, and let's get to work to make your marketing message matter.
Traffic sucks, unless you're scuba diving with Mike Scott.
Mike glanced down at his dive computer. It showed less than 50 psi left in his tank. Probably just a few more breaths.
Or riding shotgun in a thrilling car chase.
One bullet hit the Jeep's windshield, spiderwebbing the passenger side. Mike shifted into second gear and felt the Jeep leap forward. This just got serious.
Escape your commute with audiobooks from author Eric Douglas. Download to your phone. Go to booksbyeric.com or audible.com.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why we've added Nanook protective hard cases to our list of products you can now purchase on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. Underwater photographers, listen up. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook protective cases cost less than similar products currently on the market. The company has been around for over 15 years, but it's new to the U.S., so we've made a small number of Nanook cases available exclusively for you at a special introductory price on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Go there now and check out Nanook, the evolution of protection.
successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the world of boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Batten down the hatches. Aye, aye, sir. Man the bowsprit. Stow the mizzenmast. Jibe the jib boom. Hoist the mainsail and lower the tattersail. Look sharp, lad. Pike the starboard hatch to leeward. Thwarts and trim the scuppers of the port boom deck.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick Barry, the boater, rounding out the crew as we navigate the latest boating news and information. All right, so I guess you can be overpowered. I think we've covered that.
Well, yeah, you can if you exceed the manufacturer's recommendations as to, and I get that question often as, hey, I've got this 1998 or this 2005 and I want to repower. I actually had a guy. Before I go into that story real quick, just want to finish this up. So on this Merc Verado V12, just be aware that cowling, the one that we would normally be used to taking off with the 3 latches, and the full cowling weighs 44 pounds.
Wow.
Okay, that's the full cowling. But here's the thing. That thing doesn't have to come off, according to Merc, for 5 years or 1,000 hours. So probably for the full-on service type stuff. So it shouldn't be anything that you want to mess with. So I had a call this past week, this customer that he had a twin engine, inboard, outboard, twin 5.0s, alpha drives. And he had a bad, port engine was bad, needed to be replaced, and he wanted to replace it with a 5.7. So he wanted, the 5-liter was carbureted, the 5.7 he wanted to put in was throttle body, and I had to steer him like, you really don't want to do that. And he goes, why? I said, well, you have difference in horsepower, and then when you get to the outdrives, your challenge is going to be, we only offered that engine throughout our whole product line with the Bravo 3, so I couldn't even guess as to a gear ratio for the outdrive or size prop, because you're going to have to reduce RPM to match the other engine.
It's going to be making left turns all the time.
Well, no, because if he had alpha drives, he's going to have counter-rotating props.
Okay.
So port side spinning outward, starboard side spinning outward. But you get into engineering aspects where when boat manufacturers design a boat and, they bring in the engine manufacturers, whomever they are partnered with, and they come in and they say, so this is this, and this is this, and so it's designed so we can offer from a 5-liter up to the 6.2 or the 8.2, whatever it is. But for those applications, here's the gear sets we're going to offer you in our outdrive packages, and they're going to have to run with these props. Then the engineering department for the manufacturer gets involved. They go out and test run, and yes, does it run the way that we want it to run, or do we need to further tweak it with the engine manufacturer on gear ratio and or props?
Right.
So there's a lot of that goes into it, but I get those questions often. As I want to take this 5.7 out and I want to put in an 8.1, and we didn't design it for that, so I can't tell you that it's okay to do it. And we recently we've had a slew of people that, again, bad stern drives, bad inboard engines, and then they want to convert it to an outboard, and it's like, I have no idea what other than to say I cannot provide you with any information because we never designed this boat for an outboard engine.
Right.
I mean,
so do it at your own risk, right?
Well, it's beyond that.
Yeah. You do it at your own risk, but the scary thing is you get these DIYers out there that have done this stuff and are running. We all know these boats are out there and are running stuff that is not in compliance at all.
You said doo-doo, by the way.
Huh?
He only listens to the bad words.
So, So you can't overpower it. If you want to do that, it's at your own risk, and you're basically bucking what the manufacturers suggest. So upgrade at your own risk if you decide to go that route.
Well, I'll tell you, if you are looking at one of these new boats, a bunch of boat manufacturers right after the Lake X unveil, if you will, have signed on. They want to start offering these engines because we all have seen the way that the industry has gone the last 7 to 10 years, more and more outboards, especially on boats that traditionally you wouldn't think would be running outboard power. And I'm talking about your larger cruisers, flybridge models, things like that. For boats that are going to stay in the water for extended period of time, especially in salt water, the advantages there.
Wait a minute. How does this tilt? Does this engine still tilt? Because it doesn't turn, you said.
The upper doesn't turn, but it does still trim.
Tilt. Okay.
It still has to trim.
Okay.
Otherwise you really have what's the point?
Yeah.
But no, you can trim, but the upper gear case or the upper power head
right.
And transmission stay in a fixed position, which if you're behind one of these boats out on the water and all of a sudden it starts turning, to starboard or port and the engines are going straight, you're going to freak out.
Yeah.
Maybe the first few times that you see it. It's going to take a little getting used to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sounds great. Sounds cool.
Well, there's that.
Yeah, these stories and a bunch more that, of course, we never, ever get to.
Never.
Because there's boating stuff happening all over the place. Down in Barry's neck of the woods, maybe slightly to the east, the Coast Guard has rescued 2 men and a woman that were stranded on an uninhabited island for 33 days.
And why were they there? Why were they there? What were they doing? Well, we can't talk about it on the World of Boating because for legal reasons, and we want to be able to come back next week. So you'll have to look it up on the World of Boating Facebook page, and we'll leave it at that for this week. Till next time, remember, whether it's sail or motor,
life is better as a boater.
Safe boating, everyone.
Here, you barnacle-bitten swab!
World of Boating is brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Any of this getting through to you, son?
World of Boating is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Computer standing by.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past shows worldwide over the internet at worldofboating.com.
Computers can do that?
So tell a friend and come aboard every week for the World of Boating.
This is so great. I can't wait. I'm getting goosebumps. Feel me. Feel me.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
TTFN, ta-ta for now.
The opinions you just heard on the World of Boating are those of the hosts, callers, and guests. They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
What are you being such a weenie for?
While on the water, your safety and the safety of many others depends on you. So boat smart and operate your vessel only after receiving the proper training and instruction for your area.
There is a fine line between genius and madness.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at worldofboating.com.